Kia ora tātou everybody, and welcome to my review of last night's All Blacks vs Japan game in Japan, where we saw the All Blacks record a convincing 69-31 win over Japan. It was the fourth time in history that we've played them, and credit to Japan. Last night they scored the most points and the most tries they've ever scored in the clash against the All Blacks, which they scored 5 tries and 31 points overall. The All Blacks though ran in 10 tries of their own and got about 8 or 9 conversions and what was a pretty dominant display overall. So let's get into talking about the game. The All Blacks, obviously, as everyone knows, it was a B team. We fielded, I think, 8 or 9 debutants. We had Matt Proctor and Dalton Papali'i starting, and then we had Lomax, Hunt, Evans, Drummond, Cameron and Bridge off the bench. So a lot of inexperience in this team, and it was a good chance for these blokes to have a go on the international stage and state their claim for an All Blacks jersey and for Rugby World Cup next year. So real intense game. New Zealand only had to make 91 tackles, which is not a lot, so that shows their domination of how much ball they had. Japan though had to make only 95 tackles, which sort of counters that. So you look at that, and I think New Zealand had about 54% of possession overall. So, it was about 50-50. New Zealand probably made most of the opportunities with the ball, though, to be honest. New Zealand missed 22 tackles of their own, which is quite high for the All Blacks, and Japan missed 25, which is also quite high. So that sort of sums up the game. It was a very scrappy game, A lot of players tried silly offloads and tried new things, and there was a lot of creativity from both sides, which I found quite interesting. Having watched Japan quite a few times before, I'm used to seeing Japanese rugby. They have flair, they have creativity, they do amazing things. They have some insane set-piece moves, which we saw in last night's game. The All Blacks, though, a lot of youth on the field, and I think the coaches just said, boys, do what you've been doing in Mitre 10 Cup and Super Rugby, and let's see what you've got. So, look, it made for an interesting game, and it was an enjoyable watch. In terms of a game of rugby, it wasn't the best, structure-wise and whatnot, but in terms of just watching that game of rugby and enjoying it, it was awesome. So I've been excited for it, and I was glad that it came. Credit to the crowd. It was a huge crowd in Japan. I'm pretty sure it was played in Tokyo, and I'm very confident it was a sellout. They were vocal. They loved it. It was awesome. And one more talking point, the haka was amazing. Nehe Maunaskata did a great job at leading it. I got goosebumps again. I loved it. What a start to the game, and what a game it was. Rugby for Japan was the winner on the day. With them hosting the World Cup, this was a huge game, and I loved every single minute of it. So, saying that, look, the All Blacks got to see a lot of the young guys, which was what they wanted to do, and they got the win convincing in the end. So I think they ticked most of the boxes. So let's start talking about how the players performed last night. So I'll start off with Jordie Barrett, who is a man under pressure without a doubt. He's lost his starting place in the All Blacks. He's lost his place in the 23, and last night was his night to shine. So he played the full 80, made 5 from 6 tackles. He made 13 runs and, 45 metres. But, rough game for Jordie. He dropped balls. He made silly decisions. Unfortunately for him, his kick got charged down. That happens. Can't blame him for that. But it's just silly decisions and just wasn't hitting the straps. His kicking wasn't on either, and it was just a rough game for Jordie all in all. And look, he's a man under pressure, but the All Blacks have to select their best 32 for the World Cup, and I don't think at the moment Jordie is in the best 32 in the country. So I only give Jordie Barrett a 5 out of 10. Nehe Maunaskata played 40 minutes, got taken off at half-time, I'm pretty sure because of an injury. Look, made 4 runs and 42 metres, so looked pretty good on attack, looked very pivotal. Got some ball in space, which was good. However, he's not the Maunaskata that he was in 2015. He's not the old Nehe Maunaskata, and, he's talking about signing contracts overseas. I don't think he's also in the best 32 either. I think people like maybe even George Bridge have gone above Nehe in the pecking order. So, only 40 minutes for him. I also give him a 5 out of 10. Matt Proctor, congratulations on your debut last night, starting at the in centre and racking up 80 minutes as well. Look, 5 from 6 tackles and was really good on defence. He covered a lot of area very quickly, and he's a very reliable bloke on D. We've seen it for the Hurricanes and the Lions. He's great on D. So he made his tackles last night. Made 8 runs. Got a great try on debut. Can't ask for anything more. And did his job. He probably didn't get the explosiveness that I would have liked him to have got, and didn't get as much ball in space. So, look, that's a shame. He didn't have a bad game, so I give him a 6.5. Nangi Laumape, one of my favourite All Blacks at the moment, and probably, in my opinion, the unluckiest bloke in New Zealand rugby. 80 minutes, 4 from 6 tackles, 12 runs, 48 metres, and a hat-trick. What a game he had last night. We got to see new elements of what he can bring to the field. His tactical kicking was great. We all know he beats defenders. He bet 4 or 5. He was on point. You know, his offloading game was really good last night as well. Him and Proctor have paired endless times for the Hurricanes as well. So that worked. A great game for him. He's really forcing Steve Hansen's hand. If I had it my way, he would be in the 33 instead of Sonny Bill, but I know that's an unpopular opinion. But everyone knows he's a great player and the unluckiest bloke in New Zealand rugby at the moment. But what an opportunity for him to stand out and play. So I give him an 8 out of 10. Great game, Nungi. Waisake Naholo. Ooh. Mixed bag last night. Look, 70 minutes for Waisake. Got a try assist, which was mean. Racked up 74 metres with ball in hand, which is good. You know, bet defenders as you expect. Missed 5 tackles. And this is becoming a common error for Waisake, is his defence. He's in endless games now. He's missing tackles. I can't remember the last game he had a 100% record, to be honest. His defence needs to improve. At the moment, he is in that 33 spot for potential World Cup. However, people are hunting down his jersey, and I think he needs to perform more. Look, we know what he can do in attack. We know he's amazing, but that's half the game. He needs to defend, and missing 5 tackles isn't the best. So, the improvement there, didn't step up, I think, as he should have. So 6.5 for Waisake in the Holo. Richie Mo'unga, what a game. He was always gonna have a great game, I feel. I always had confidence that he was gonna step up last night, and he did. 80 minutes, 22 points, kicked phenomenally. His conversions and penalties were good. Scored a great try. Look, bet 7 defenders, made 10 runs. A great try assist as well. So all in all, a great game. Amazing under the high ball. You know, he didn't drop one, and I would have assumed Geordie Barrett would be taking them, but Mo'unga would go back, take them, and he was outstanding. So hugely impressive game for Mo'unga. His best in the black jersey, and big things to come from him. Hopefully he'll play next week against England off the bench. 9 out of 10, Richie Mo'unga. Amazing. Te Tairoa Tahu Riorangi got his first test start as well last night, and look, racked up 58 minutes for the halfback, 61 passes, which included 2 assists, great try as well, had a pretty good game and did everything you expected of him, made 2 from 4 tackles. His passing at some stages were rough, but look, I can forgive him because he had amazing passes as well. Look, he's growing with the jersey, he's growing with his opportunities, so second test match for him, and he's looking really comfortable now at this stage, so good opportunity for him, 7.5. Captain Luke Whitelock, another first test as captain, second game as captain, 80 minutes, 5 from 6 tackles, 8 runs, 19 metres. Luke Whitelock, I don't know how many people know, but actually probably cost us the first try because he wasn't marking the breakdown, which allowed the Japanese player Anisi to get up, charge down the kick, and score the try. So, had he been there, he should have been doing his job in blocking that ruck, and Steve Hansen made that very clear. So, that is a pivotal mistake which cost us the first try. Only made the 5 tackles. Usually, you know, Kieran Reid makes 14 or 15 in the game. Luke only made 5. Look, he did his job without being spectacular, so I give him a solid 7. Dalton Papali'i, congratulations on your first test match, first test start in what is a big position that carries many legends' names on it. So the open side jersey, and what a young bloke to come through, and what a game he had. He was very strong in defence in his 58 minutes. He made 8 from 9 tackles, had 8 carries, but turnovers at the breakdown. He was getting into the ruck. He was turning ball over. He was tackling hard, putting blokes on the deck. Relentless work rate from Dalton. Okay, he got sidestepped when Japan scored, I think, their second try, but, you know, what can you do? He had a great game, so I'm very happy with him. Great first game, 7. Vai Fafita, look, missed 4 tackles in his 80 minutes, so 8 from 12. So Waisaki missed 5, Vai missed 4. 7 runs for only 25 metres, so was shut down and just lacked the explosiveness. So didn't have a bad game, did his work well and did threaten when he had ball in hand, but was shut down pretty quickly, so 6.5. Jackson Himmelpour had his best game in the black jersey last night. All Blacks prefer him at blindside. I've always enjoyed him at lock for Manawatu and the Highlanders. I love him at lock. He had to step in because Luke Romano was injured, and 80 minutes, 6 tackles, got 3 or 4 turnovers, had 6 carries for 19 metres, had that big clean break down the middle of the field early in the game. His tackles were hard. He's a hard man to put down. It took 2 or 3 of the Japanese players to put him on the deck. He was at nearly every ruck being an influence. He was solid. He used his size to bully the Japanese, and he was great at line-out time. So, brilliant game for Jackson Himmelpour, 8 out of 10. Patrick Tuipulotu, for me, didn't miss a tackle. Made 5 from 5 tackles, which is good in his 53-minute effort. Only had one carry, which was a shame. His lineouts were really good as well on attack and defence. So credit to Himmelpour and Tuipulotu for challenging the Japanese lineout and also winning our ball. Nearly turned over the Japanese in the second try when he got his body under the ball, but the ball got to ground. So that was a great effort. But to be honest, he had a pretty good game. He just wasn't amazing. So I've given him a 6.5 purely based on the fact that on attack he wasn't really potent where we usually see him. He runs good lines and he's hard to take down, but we didn't see that last night. Quick rundown of the front row. Angus Ta'avao had a great game, I thought, last night. 58 minutes, 4 tackles. His scrum was really good. He was a battering ram on attack. He was putting blokes to the deck on defence. A very good game. He carried strong and got over the advantage line every time. So credit to Angus Ta'avao, 7 out of 10. Welcome return of Dane Coles, who scored the first try on the wing, as Dane Coles does. No surprise, I loved watching that. 53 minutes, didn't miss a tackle, only made 3, but made all of them. Made 4 runs, didn't get a lot of ball, but his lineouts were really good. His scrummaging was really good. Great to see him back, 7 out of 10. And Ofa Tu'ungafasi got another rear test start last night. 53 metres, 7 from 8 tackles, 6 carries, which was huge from him. Yet again, I'm repetitive, but I agree he scrummed really well. Our front row was solid as last night, and I loved it. He had another good game, so another 7 out of 10. Very consistent. Quick rundown of the bench. Liam Coltman got 27 minutes last night. Didn't miss a tackle, 5 from 5. Had a big run. He racked up his 10 metres in one run. Scrummed really good and kept up momentum, which is what you want from your bench. So that was awesome. 7 out of 10 for Liam Coltman. Tim Perry got 27 minutes. Same, 5 from 5 tackles. Very reliable. Scrummed really well. Loved his work rate. Didn't have any carries though, so for that, between him and Coltman, I give him a 6.5. Tyrell Lomax, congratulations on your first test debut. Deserved one. Very deserved for Lomax. 22 minutes, 2 from 3 tackles. Came in and just did what he had to do. Didn't make a huge impact, to be fair, and so just based on what he did in that time, I only give him a 6. Dylan Hunt, first test again for him, and wow, he had impact, man. 22 minutes, didn't miss a tackle, got 4 from 4 tackles, 3 runs for 12 metres, got, I think, 4 turnovers, 3 or 4 turnovers, which is mad in his short time on the field. Was rushing out of D very quickly and putting the Japanese on the deck. 7 out of 10 for Dylan Hunt. Gareth Evans had a great game as well. He 27 minutes, made 2 tackles, got 2 try assists. He had the knowledge to do the quick tap to put Nungi away in the corner, which was amazing. He had 5 runs. He was pivotal breakdown time with turnovers. So with that, I give him a 7 out of 10 as well. Mitchy Drummond, debut as well for him. 22 minutes, 10 passes in that time. Made 2 from 2 tackles. Didn't have any runs. Probably didn't need to. So just for his his 22 minutes on the field, I give him 6.5. Brett Cameron only got 10 minutes last night, but made 2 from 2 tackles. Made a blistering run down the sideline. So good to see Brett Cameron do something. However, he was only on the field for 10 minutes, so couldn't really rate him, but promising, very promising. And George Bridge came on at halftime, 40 minutes, 2 from 3 tackles, 7 runs, 31 metres, 1 try assist, 2 tries. His tackles were amazing. His pace was amazing. He was everywhere last night, George Bridge. Put him on a plane to London. Get him over there. Get him in the black jersey again, maybe for the Italy game. Everyone has been talking him up. I'm a huge fan. I want to see more of him. So let's get him some more game time other than just this test. He proved what he can do. I think he's in my 33 of the best rugby players in New Zealand at the moment. He had an amazing game. Straight up, 9 out of 10. Great game, George Bridge. So all in all Blacks across the board had a bloody good game. I was very impressed with every single one of the All Blacks last night. And they all did something amazing. And it was awesome to see. And I'm a huge fan of the debutants and the youth to come. So, great game for the All Blacks. Next week, 4 a.m. Sunday morning, playing England in Twickenham, which will be huge. England this morning had a 12-11 win over the Springboks, which is controversial ending. Take what you want from it. I don't think it was a penalty. I think it was a fair decision not to award a penalty. That's just my opinion. Wales beat Scotland 21-10. Ireland smashed Italy 54-7. Cannot wait for us to play them. The New Zealand Māori beat USA 59-22. And our women beat USA 67-6. So, good day for New Zealand rugby all over. 3 from 3 wins for us. Other good games. Next week, Wales play Australia. France play South Africa. Ireland play Argentina. And we play England. So I cannot wait. Should be amazing next week. So that was my rundown of last night's game and how the players rated. Cannot wait for the England game and what's to come. So thank you for listening. Please tell me your opinion on how people played, and I'll see you next week.